1, 2, 3. The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Dunning Field in New Canaan for field hockey on the HAN Network. It is senior day at New Canaan High School, and today the New Canaan Rams host the Fairfield Warde Mustangs. Along with Dave Stewart, Eric Gendron directing, I'm Rob Adams, and looking forward to this one today. Dave, beginning to get to that point, the final regular season games before we move into the playoffs.
Yeah, kind of setting up a lot of different things, and New Canaan could actually get a home game for the quarterfinals with a win today, so it's a big game for them. They can't settle for a tie or lose for that matter.
In fact, New Canaan comes in with a record of 9-3-1. Fairfield Warde comes into the game at 6-7. We're out for a break. We're starting it right after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Welcome back to New Canaan High School. Field hockey on the HAN Network is brought to you by Carl Chevrolet and by Walter Stewart's Market. Not the best of afternoons, Bill, or Dave, rather, kind of overcast and a little gloomy, somewhat chilly, so the sun gone at this point, so we're not going to feel the warmth here. It was a little warmer when we first got here today.
Yeah, it's late fall. It's late October in New England. It's going to get cold.
I called you Bill because I feel the pressure of the specter of Bill Brown here in the booth.
There you go.
That's the way it goes here. Bill actually just walked out. I believe we've got Ellie Hersom on one camera, AJ Simonowski, Marty Hersom as well. So among our crew today, Kate and Josh down at the far end, putting the flux in the flux capacitor, or whatever the case may be.
A lot of Back to the Future references recently.
It had to do it. Well, first of all, we had to do it because of Back to the Future Day last week, but Eric and AJ and I are such big fans of the movie as well.
Great movie, yeah, definitely.
I'm more of a fan of the original than the latter two, but they've been trying to convince me to rediscover the latter two, so I'll try.
I think all three are phenomenal, to be honest. This could be an interesting game. Ward has been reeling a little bit lately. I believe they've lost 5 in a row. Norwalk, Darien, a couple of tough teams. Ridgefield's a playoff team. Staples a playoff team. So they've had a tough schedule. New Canaan, of course, got a big win last Friday, 2-1 over Wilton, who currently holds the number 2 seed in the FCIAC. And that was a huge win to get them back on track.
As I mentioned, it's senior day, so all the seniors were introduced in pregame ceremonies handled ably by the aforementioned Bill Brown. All the seniors came out. A lot of seniors on this team, in fact. And they stood and posed for pictures and had a moment with their family.
It's always kind of a nice finish to the regular season when they with Senior Day.
And I thought I just heard the question about the field hockey hashtag, and those hashtags are a pretty big deal. I believe it's hashtag CTFH, correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. So always good to do that. It just serves, if you're still kind of uncomfortable with Twitter, when you're able to click on that hashtag, it loads everything related to that very thing.
Everything in the state of Connecticut field hocky that if somebody's put that hashtag on it, you'll get that. So you get game score updates, possibly standing updates, things like that.
Now, there's no hard and fast rule, and what I mean by that is in Connecticut, a lot of people use CT traffic for Connecticut traffic. Well, we used that when we used to do traffic on Coffee Break, and we tried it one time, and I actually glanced at the traffic and started reading this one really weird kind of traffic setup, and I'm going, this doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard in Connecticut. No, it turned out to be Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
So there are no hard and fast rules to these hashtags, but for the most part, it works. So CTFH. Teams going through some final warm-ups as we get started here.
Big thing for New Canaan, too, has been they haven't had senior captain Catherine Granito, their center mid, for quite a while now. She was out with a concussion. She's supposed to be back for the playoffs this week, which start this weekend. The quarterfinals are they'll be on Friday and Saturday. The exact dates and times will be set up after the seeds are known, of course, because your top 4 seeds will be hosting games. They go to neutral sites for the semis next week.
So just waiting for the teams to come out and get us going.
She just got off the exit. She'll be right here. Thanks.
In fact, I'm noticing there is... Are we down an official? Is that the problem? Okay, so we're waiting on an official. Okay, that'll do it. Very easy for folks to get hung up in traffic and all that stuff. So 53 degrees as we sit here today on what's going to be a chilly day. Temperatures going down into the mid-40s as we move into the night, and rain coming in late tonight into tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a very rainy day. We'll take a time out from Dunning Field. We will come back. We are waiting on one official. It happens. It's Connecticut traffic. It'll do it to the best of us. We'll take a break. New Canaan, Fairfield Warde coming up in field hockey on the HAN Network.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2, and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. 102,000 viewers have enjoyed the HAN Network in just the last 6 weeks. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
This is the home of the Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference, your home for FCIAC sports, the HAN Network.
Welcome back to New Canaan High School. We're also dodging the last of the summer bees here at Dunning Field's press box, and well, we've had to go rogue on them a couple of times. Let's talk about the HAN Network FCIAC Athletes of the Week and who is nominated on this very week. Voting closes at 2 p.m. on Friday, so you got to get out the vote. We will announce them during tailgate beginning at 3:30 on Friday afternoon. Eric Vanderels of Brian McMahon Cross Country is one of the nominees. He ran the 5K course in 15:24 and had a 15-second victory over Ridgefield's Gabe Altop, who ran at 15:39. Vanderels was fourth last year. Raheem Hines of Bridgeport Central Soccer had 3 goals and an assist in a 5-0 shutout of St. Joseph. Colin Lowe, the receiver for Ridgefield, a junior, he caught 11 passes for 176 yards and a touchdown as the Tigers knocked off Staples 31-27. Staying with Ridgefield, Drew Fowler had himself a night, and he's been coming on 29 of 44 for 357 yards and 4 touchdown passes as the Tigers knocked off the previously undefeated Wreckers. They had been utterly perfect. He tossed a pair of touchdown passes to Chris Longo, as well as we talked about a third one with Longo, and, of course, the touchdown to Colin Lowe. On the other side of things is Will Sullivan of Wilton Football. He kicked 3 field goals, including a game winner, in the Warriors' 30-27 overtime victory against Stamford on Friday night. Tyler Dalton of Norwalk Soccer, the Bears senior goalie, made 8 saves, including 7 during the second half of a 2-0 win over Ridgefield on Saturday. That victory, by the way, clinched a state tournament berth for the Norwalk Bears. And finally, a couple of remaining players. Pablo Martinez of Darien High School Boys Soccer. He had all 3 goals for the Blue Wave in a 3-1 win over Bridgeport Central as they improved to 8-5-1. And Hunter Kuiman of Darien High Boys Soccer, emblematic of a multi-pronged wave attack. It says right here on the copy that has boosted the number 2, the team to number 2 in the league and made Darien a top contender for what would be the FCIAC boys' first soccer title in school history. As for the girls, Hannah DeBalzi of Staples Cross Country. Dave, we know all about her.
Crazy good.
So good, ran in 14:45, won by 14:05, won by 40 seconds over Wilton's Mary Lynch, and of course, it was her 3rd straight FCIAC cross-country championship. Sophia Picarazzi of Trumbull Volleyball had 15 kills, 11 service points, and 7 digs to help Trumbull get past Trinity Catholic 3-2. We'll let you know the rest of the winners as we move, or the rest of the nominees, rather, as we move along, but we are just about ready for field hockey. Both officials have arrived, and away we go. New Canaan starts things off. And just a few seconds gone by. 19 seconds gone by in the first half.
You see number 1 out there is Meredith Heaney. She's been doing very well in place of Granito. And she's really stepped up. She's only a sophomore at this point, but it'd be great to have the 2 of them on the field at the same time.
Yeah, it would be. I saw Catherine Granito walking around up here before, and of course, has to be frustrating to not be playing.
I actually talked to her brother, her older brother Frank, who's a assistant coach for Lou Marinelli's football team, and he was saying that when Catherine first got hurt, she was dealing with it, but now she's just itching to get back out there and very frustrated by it. It's almost like torture, if you're a great athlete.
Just kind of rolling the ball over toward the far side, trying to steal it away. Cameron Dayton over there for the Rams. As it was loose, comes over to the near side. And he just play those ground balls, rolling it right along, keeping that stick on the ground, and spun back the other way. A minute and change gone. Just getting these seats that are kind of chilly. They're getting chillier as we go along, just warming them up. FCIAC semis in field hockey next week. Dave, did you have company? Did Pontouf ask for a friend to come visit?
Apparently we have Randy the Ram here.
Yeah, I see that. You'll spy Randy the Ram as the broadcast goes along, but the Ram just visited us up here in the booth. Rolls out to the near side. We were going to have Marty Hersom put a whistle on and officiate this game, but he declined in the end.
I think that's all for the best.
We were having a laugh about that before the game today. No score. 2 and change gone by in the first half. Sydney Adams of Trumbull Volleyball is another one of our nominees for this week's HAN Network FCIAC Athlete of the Week. The Trumbull senior setter racked up 32 assists, 3 kills, 10 digs, 19 service points, and 4 aces. That's a heck of a performance. Molly Kerrigan of Fairfield Warde Girls Soccer made 12 saves as the Mustangs defeated Staples 12-1. That's a score for you. Phoebe Slaughter of Darien Swimming, by the way. She won the 50 and 500 free and swam legs in the first place 200 medley and 400 free relay teams. So there are your nominees. You can vote online at live.han.network.
Darien, of course, the defending FCIAC champs in swimming, and FCIAC swimming is loaded this year. A lot of good teams.
Fairfield Warde in the black. New Canaan on the attack in the white. Ball was loose. Kendall Gensberg went to play it. It gets turned away. So we'll get our first penalty corner of the afternoon. And it'll be Cameron Dayton to do the honors. Dayton, from our perspective, off to the left side of the net, feeds it in. A big blast coming, and it goes in. That was Meredith Heaney to get things started, and New Canaan takes a 1-0 lead.
Just took it at the top of the circle. Nice shot to the lower right corner there, and she's a heck of a player.
As you said, you can only imagine what Heaney and Granito would be like if they were out there together.
They're supposed to have that back for the playoffs, so that would be key for New Canaan.
So 3 minutes, 40 seconds in, New Canaan has a 1-0 lead. So the Rams will take it back, moving from left to right. Now it's the Mustangs coming over to the near side. They look to play it ahead. They do with Kylie Palmer, a junior forward. Off to Eleni Kaiser, senior forward. And it'll be the Rams going back from left to right. Taken back by the Mustangs. It looked like Madeline Tavolacci, the junior back.
One thing I didn't mention before is Ward is at 6-7 in the league right now, and even though that's sub 500, they are still mathematically alive for a playoff spot. So, obviously a loss here would eliminate them.
And they've rolled another one in. Kendall Gensberg makes it 2-0. So a good start for the Rams.
A lot of traffic in front there, a lot of pressure.
And you could see that. There was just a lot of, in hockey we use the term crashing the net. They were crashing the net right there.
Yeah, and one thing about New Canaan over the last few years, when they've been able to score, they break through for a goal. They usually follow it up.
So 2 goals in the span of 1:03, and it's 2-0. So
got an assist on the first goal was from Cameron Dayton. She sent it in from the penalty corner. Out to Heaney, of course.
That's right. You have connections to get us that information today. I like your connections.
That, of course, is Bill Brown.
Yeah, of course.
Bill does a great job here. He's done everything from announcing football games to being the scorekeeper to actually being kind of the liaison for some of the teams to get their stats into the local papers and websites and, of course, for me, for the FCIAC site.
Yeah, no, he does a ton of stuff here. Of course, the longtime voice of the Rams for the football team is Bob Vanderhayden. Has been doing it a long, long time. Last time I talked to him, we were talking radio because he's a radio station owner out in the Poconos. I love talking broadcasting and certainly radio biz.
Of course, you know, Bob Vanderhaden's in the house. If you hear when a flag comes out, when you hear a whoops.
We've got just over 6 minutes gone by. It's 2-0 early on. All the attacks so far in favor of the Rams. And the Rams will turn it right back around. That's Olivia Hunzinger. Has it bounce away. Now she grabs it back. Wearing number 9. Just pokes it through. And a whistle will spin it around. And reset things for Hunzinger. Brings it outside the football numbers. Now rolls it down through traffic. Ball is loose for a moment. Scooped up by Dayton. And it'll be the Mustangs to say thank you very much. Let's see if we can get something going offensively.
I believe they've only gotten down inside the 20 once so far, and that only lasted for a few seconds.
Yep. Here's Gensberg again. As Gensberg worked it down inside to get it near Olivia Anagnost.
Pretty aggressive player.
Bringing it all the way back out. Now outside the numbers. That was Kaiser for the Mustangs. They try to take it away, work it forward, and roll it out to the near side. So Hunzinger, one of the captains for Erin Gilday, will get it right back in. Ellery Barron, there as well. We'll have the semifinals for you next week, championship next week as well. In boys soccer, we'll have a quarterfinal game on Thursday before we move into the semifinals next week, as well as the championship. Girls championship as well. All of that will be right here on the HAN network. Lifted ahead, bouncing off the stick of Kylie Palmer.
And we do have 3 of the home teams for the quarterfinals are all set with Darien, Wilton, and Norwalk. New Canaan, of course, as mentioned before, they could move up into that spot. Right now they look pretty good, but still a long way to go in this one. New Canaan would host Greenwich if that's the case.
So Meredith Heaney rolls it ahead, gets it to Cameron Dayton. 2-0 New Canaan. Coming up on the 9-minute mark. And a penalty corner coming up here. So the second PK, Dayton will roll it in. Dayton sets, brings it in. Rolls it over, finds Heaney. Heaney splits the defenders and scores. 3-0.
That's going to get a timeout going for Ward. New Canaan just playing very aggressively now and taking it right to the cage and doing what they've got to do at this point.
So the Rams scored at 3:40, 4:43, and now at 9:41. Actually, make that
9:01.
9:01, excuse me, yeah. 9:01, and it's 3-0.
This is exactly what you want to do if you're the favored team. You come out, really put them back on their heels, and take it to them. Don't let them linger. New Canaan's done that in the past, and that'll bite you.
So Heaney, Gensberg, and Heaney, 3-0.
From Olivia Hunsinger was the assist on that third goal there. Of course, Gensberg was unassisted. She had her own rebound in there, so. Now, if New Canaan does hold on to win this, then they would get Greenwich in the semifinals, I believe or in the quarterfinals at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. New Canaan, of course, that would be a big revenge game for New Canaan. Greenwich beat them 1-0 over in Greenwich earlier this year, and kind of left a bad taste in New Canaan. More so than a regular, any old loss. It's they didn't really play to the best of their ability. They were kind of flat, and so that really did a damage to them, to their hopes. But they got a little bit of that back yesterday, courtesy of Staples, when Staples beat Greenwich and opened the door for them to get a home game.
The HAN Network and the Prospector Theater invite you to the Halloween short film screening contest this Saturday, October 31st at the Prospector Theater, 25 Prospect Street in Ridgefield. The screening starts at 10 a.m. with the HAN Network submitted films, followed by the film submitted to the Prospector at 11. The cost of admission is $7 and is good for both screenings, and a filmmaker Q&A will follow both screenings. We can tell you more about it, or you can go read it online. It's at any one of our HAN Network websites, including ncadvertiser.com. Figure I got to give Dave a little plug there. And you dare not talk about that Darien place here. Get in trouble.
Not at all.
DarienTimes.com. All right, we roll on. 9.5 gone.
The rivalry never ends.
I'd say I'm giving respect to Eric Gendron because he worked at both papers. He worked at Darien. And now, well, he did for a while work for Greg Riley in New Canaan, where you had to put up with him.
Yeah, I remember those days well.
Those days that ended, what, a week or two ago? Ball comes over to the near side. 3-0 New Canaan. Fairfield Warde trying to get things going. Kylie Palmer. Now they'll spin it back the other way. The Rams, Sarah Pinella, brings it down the near side wearing number 12. Just kind of scoots it through. Ball was loose for Ellery Barron, but...
Another penalty corner.
Yep. Third one coming up. Clock ticking at 19:30 exactly remaining in the first half. It'll be Meredith Heaney to bring it in. Sets it. Comes back. Works it across. Oh, that was a good feed inside trying to find Barron. Comes over near side. Rolled away from Dayton.
It's nicely played by, I believe that's Jenna Kutzo. Ward getting in there to break that up.
Grace Manges for the Rams. Works it ahead to Heaney. Now they'll go over to the far side. Working it right along those hash marks. Poked away from Sarah Adams, the junior midfielder. 3-0 Rams. Over 11 minutes gone by in the first half. Rams will be reset on the far side over near their bench. I promise one day I will understand these whistles.
Just when I think I've got it down, see a new one.
So often you don't get a chance to really chat with the officials, but those are the people you can learn so much about these games from. By the time officials show up, most of the time I'm sitting in the booth, so it's hard to get to them. But every now and then I luck into, sitting somewhere and being able to chat with a football official. And some of these folks cover so many different sports that you can chat about a bunch of things with them.
That's one issue they've had with some of the with girls lacrosse and field hockey is getting officials for these games. That's why you see the times on tournaments broken up. So, more so than like in soccer, where every game will be at 4 o'clock, or volleyball, where every game's at 4 o'clock in the quarterfinal. There's just not a lot of people who are, able to officiate at that level.
The Mustangs have just gotten nothing going on early on.
Really haven't challenged the defense at all. It's all been at midfield, too.
Played back to midfield.
Olivia Hunsinger and Heaney have been all over the place, and Canaan just keeps pushing forward.
That was Cameron Dayton. Now a whistle. Getting closer to the midway point of the first half, 3-0. New Canaan on top. They've been in control. Rolls over to the far side. Spinning right back toward Mariana Ferreira. Now taken by the Mustangs. Daisy Furliger, junior midfielder. And again, the Rams will take it right back. That long pooch shot ran along and spins right back toward the Mustangs. They trail 3-0. Heaney, Gensberg, and Heaney, the goal scorers early on. Working it through and getting a little further down, but
now we're going to get a penalty corner for Warde. First one.
So Warde will bring it out on the near side. Got away from the circle, comes all the way back out. And the Rams will say thank you very much. Heaney will work it ahead. Heaney to Ferreira. Nicole Dunn over there for the Mustangs. The whistle will turn it away. Rolled along for the Mustangs. They're in the all black. These are two schools with very complementary colors. In fact, the exact same colors. Red, white, and black for each team. Much as Greenwich would also do the same. However, on Saturday, that was not a problem in football. As New Canaan decided for the day to think pink.
And if you're a football team and you're going to wear pink pants, you better win the game.
You better win the game. Mm-hmm. And they did, not the blowout that many had thought. 24-14 was the final score of that one. Greenwich had their chances to really climb into that game and make it interesting. It never quite came together. But New Canaan got the job done. They stay perfect on the year. Rolled along the near side to Sarah Pinella. Pinella went to work it back in. Near side for the Mustangs. They get it ahead. Lift it along and turn it right back the other way. So a new ball gets tossed in. And it will be controlled by Hunzinger. For the New Canaan Rams, they lead 3-0. As we've hit the 16.5-minute mark. A couple of sticks get tangled up, and a whistle stops that. It was Dayton for the Mustangs. Or Dayton, excuse me, for the Rams. I beg your pardon. Out to the near side comes Barron. Rolls it into Hunzinger. Sends it across to Heaney. Through traffic. Coming down to about 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. So this is, to my knowledge, the longest we've gone without a goal in this game so far. 3-0 game.
Canada, of course, scored 3 goals in looks like 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Really an outburst that
yeah.
Just now they have a strong grip on this game. And they've kept the pressure up too. Haven't really gotten into the circle since then, but since that third goal, but you know, they've been controlling the field, controlling possession.
So Mustang ball. Sarah Adams brought it in. Off to the near side with Palmer. And it'll be Ram ball. It'll be Hunzinger. Olivia Hunzinger, a senior. Bounces it along, gets away from Jenna Kutzo. rolls out to the near side. 3-0, 11:25 remaining in the first half. Here's Hunzinger. Now through traffic. And a penalty corner coming up.
Game's gotten kind of quiet because
It has.
of the after that three-goal outburst by New Canaan.
Nice steal by the Mustangs. That's Sarah Adams. Us Adams don't mess around. Meredith Heaney, though, took it away.
She's really quick to the ball right there.
Yeah, she was. For the record, I'm sure Sarah is a delightful young lady. She is, to my knowledge, no relation to me whatsoever. I do have family in Fairfield and family right near Fairfield Warde, but they are not Adamses. .10:05 to go in the first half.
Putting one of their captains and defensemen now to send the ball in. Rianne Ball.
And again, stolen away, I believe. That was Jenna Kutzo. Still 3-0. Last goal came at 9:01 into this game.
Yeah, we're definitely playing a little better defense now. That ball went up to Heaney at the top. She tried to send it back to Ball, but that was intercepted. So they're getting to the ball a little quicker, but a lot of damage already done.
Yeah. High stick kept it in favor of Fairfield Warde. Young lady out in the crowd did a really nice version of the national anthem before the game. You see her out in the crowd right now. So off on the far side, played by the Mustangs, Sarah Adams had it roll wide. Emily Conley, the senior in net for the Rams, who has otherwise been, well, fairly bored.
This game, that's got to be a challenge for the goalie, especially if Ward is able to turn the tables at any point. You know, you got to get lulled to sleep a little bit. So you got to stay focused and try to keep your head in the game.
Grace Orban of Fairfield Warde rolled it down the far side.
I'm sure any goalie will take a 3-0 lead, though, over a lot of action there.
Yeah.
But you see goalies in any sport get almost unconscious, like in the zone, as they say, with a lot of shots.
Trying to roll it across to Catherine Freiberg, but comes back the other way. Now it's the Rams again. Rams keep the pressure on.
That number 2 is not Catherine Granito out there. That's actually Sierra Smith, the sophomore.
Who would normally be wearing 17 on the state roster, but is wearing 2 today. I saw the same thing. I said, nope, that's not Catherine Granito.
Maybe this is a little misdirection for the playoffs.
Meredith Heaney, near side, had it stolen away. Spinning back. Sarah Adams will work it through. Down to 7:15 to go in the first half. Rolled away from Grace Manges. She'll reset. Bounces it through traffic. Sierra Smith again, wearing number 2. That normally the number of Catherine Granito. Of course, I think of Granito and some of these other field hockey players, I immediately start thinking of ice hockey.
Yes, they'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. I am diligently rolling through trying to figure out what games to cover. That is not the easiest task in the world. Not exactly backbreaking either. It's fun to think about, but it's a lot to, it's a lot to think about.
Hockey is ice hockey is an extremely exciting sport when it's two really good teams going head to head.
Without a doubt. This will roll over to the near side and out. A lot of the very foundation of what we do at HAN Network really comes from hockey, because a lot of our early games were ice hockey games. It was kind of where we, kind of learned how to do this stuff. Our first broadcasts were football.
New Canaan St. Joe's FCIAC Championship.
Mm-hmm. November 22nd, 2013.
My memory's still working a little bit.
My memory's still working because I put another candle on the birthday cake that evening. After a very long evening of FCIAC high school football.
That, of course, at Trumbull High School.
Yes, it was.
Nice venue. Nice venue. They well done up there and everything, but FCIAC football, Boyle Stadium.
I agree.
Beat it.
I agree. And it'll be back there, which to my mind is where it belongs. And I do like that if it's Darien, New Canaan, what would be the Turkey Bowl, that they do what they did last year. I know the teams want the home game, but from the specter of, the magnitude of the moment, I love seeing it in Boyle Stadium.
It's just got a championship feel to it.
Just does. It's a classic place. 4:40 to go in the first half. 3-0. New Canaan on top. Goals early on for Heaney, Gensberg, and Heaney. That sounds like an extremely talented FCIAC law firm. Heaney, Gensberg, and Heaney. Have you been scored upon? Let Heaney, Gensberg, and Heaney defend you.
A couple other games today, too. Trumbull's playing at Danbury. Trumbull, a loss here by Warde would clinch it for Trumbull, or a win by Trumbull would clinch a playoff spot for him. Darien, of course, is playing Stanford, and they're going to be the number 1 seed.
Darien's been so dominant. I said it on Nutmeg Sports. I'll say it again. And I know Wilton's very good. I just can't see who's going to beat the Blue Wave.
It's interesting because, if you get hot in the playoffs, and which is what New Canaan did last year. New Canaan went in as the 4 seed. I think it was a little more wide open last year, but I also didn't think Wilton, who was the 1 seed, was going to lose. And New Canaan knocked them off in the semifinals. Goal by Ellery Barron, I believe in the first minute, and then he just played defense the rest of the game. And, of course, when that was done, New Canaan gets Darien in the final, and the defense stayed hot. New Canaan won that, and, is the defending champions.
Penalty corner coming up here. 3:09 to go first half. Looks like Lauren Sturm, beg your pardon, Sturm, the junior, goes over to play it. Rolls it into Heaney. Heaney, the blast coming through traffic. Kick save made. Far side. And rolled right back.
Again, Warde is.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Warde is hustling to the ball now, better on defense. They're still not getting anything going on offense, but at least they've kind of stopped the bleeding.
Lots of signs down there in support, certainly of the seniors who are departing here. Again, we mentioned it is senior day.
Always a nice high school tradition to honor the seniors on a particular day, and kind of give them their last moment on their home turf, even if they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a nice ceremony. They did a good job here. Bounced along, and Fairfield Warde will take it back. Sarah Adams trying to get something going, but New Canaan's defense too good so far, and all the offense has been tilted the other way. HAN Network will have election night coverage next week, by the way. Make sure we remind you of that.
Are you doing play-by-play for that?
I will not be doing play-by-play. It actually is going to be a little weird for me because I have been an election night reporter or anchor basically since the early 2000s, so to not be working that night is a bit of a change for me, but I'll still be working.
It's a busy night.
Yeah, I'll still be calling 2 games. Bouncing along, this rolls wide.
Of course, we'll be here.
That is it.
Semifinals.
That is it. But get your local election night results and analysis live on Tuesday night, November 3rd, when the polls close at 8 p.m. Josh Fisher and Kate Chaplinsky will be hosting an election night news show at live.han.network. John Kovac will be there as well, assisting and doing John Kovacian type of things. As the results roll in, Josh and Kate will be talking with local politicians and HAN's community editors and reporters out in the field. So that's coming up 8 p.m. election night on the HAN Network. 25 seconds to go in the first half.
John Kovac, of course, a reporter, a football coach, and a fisherman.
And Yankee fisherman, Thursdays at 1. Down to 5 to go in the first half. Be tough for anybody to get anything going here. Down to 1 in the first half will come to an end. Well, a very solid performance for the New Canaan Rams in the first half. They dominated things. 3 goals in the span of just under 6 minutes, and it is a 3-0 lead in favor of the New Canaan Rams over the Fairfield Warde Mustangs.
Yeah, just come out and take the game by the throat right away, which is what you want to do. If you're the favorite, you just take control of the game and don't give anybody any life. That's the goal, and Canaan's done that to Warde so far.
All right, we will take a timeout and set things up. Come back to New Canaan High School with our halftime score: the New Canaan Rams 3 and the Fairfield Warde Mustangs 0. Dave and I return to Dunning Field in just a little bit right here as you're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking. To a partner that makes small businesses feel big. Where community comes first. Where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch. Where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver. Where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
That's right. Are you easy to scare? HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone. Sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. 102,000 viewers have enjoyed the HAN Network in just the last 6 weeks. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
This is the home of the Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference, your home for FCIAC sports, the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Dunning Field in New Canaan, the campus of New Canaan High School with Dave Stewart, Eric Gendron directing. I'm Rob Adams. Halftime, field hockey, and it's a 3-0 lead for the New Canaan Rams over the Fairfield Warde Mustangs. Dave, very solid performance so far by the Rams.
Yeah, got to be happy with having the lead, and 3-0. You get to 2-0, and that can change quickly. A lot of coaches will tell you that if you're up by 2 goals, the other team scores 1 goal, all of a sudden it's going to be a game till the end, and the momentum's going the other way. With a 3-goal lead, it's a different story because you can afford to, if you give up, not that you want to give up one, but if you do give up one, it's not a game-altering moment.
What do the Mustangs have to do? I mean, the obvious is put the ball in the net, but what do they need to do to get that going? Because they really haven't even had any opportunities. We were saying off the air in the break that even shots on net are totally in favor of the Rams.
Yeah, it's 7-0 New Canaan and 5-2 in penalty corners. So they really haven't had any, they've had the 2 penalty corners, but they really haven't materialized in any shots. It's not like they're even going wide or anything. They just haven't connected. But most of it's happening at midfield too. You've got Marathini, you've got Livia Hunsinger out there, Cameron Dayton. Everybody's really shutting it down, and when they have gotten by on the rare occasion they have gotten by that, the defense has been solid and really just keeping them from getting any opportunities.
Are you fired up for the World Series?
I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm kind of taking it as it comes. I'm happy for the Mets.
I'm taking it as it comes. I was saying, and I said this to Eric Gendron and a few others off the air on Saturday, if you're a Yankee fan who grew up in, really came into your own in the 70s as I did, you're watching the Kansas City Royals take on your team every year, and I don't care that the Yankees did win 3 straight over the Royals in 76 to 78. Those were still blistering playoff series each year.
They were. I'm happy for but actually both teams. Kansas City went a long time without having a lot to do in the playoffs.
29 years.
Yeah, and then and of course the Mets. They're the Mets, so a lot of times they face a lot of ridicule. So for them to have something good going on is nice. It's nice to see for them.
I guess I'll take either a good, tight, competitive World Series. Otherwise, I'm largely indifferent, if that's fair to say.
I'd actually like to see the Mets, do this and take it home. I'm not living and dying with it like I would be with the Yankees. Though,
Right.
So we'll see how it goes.
3-0 our halftime score as we are getting ready for the second half.
Now, as we were saying, if New Canaan holds on and wins this, they'll be the number 4 seed in the playoffs behind Darien, Wilton, and Norwalk. The quarterfinals are this weekend, and as we were talking about before with the officials, tough to get officials for the field hockey games with college games going on and high school games going, a lot of tournament stuff. So you'd have the top 2 seeds, Darien and Wilton, hosting games on Friday. The 3 and 4 seeds, New Canaan and Norwalk, hosting games on Saturday.
Second half ready to get underway. And the Rams will take the ball, and away we go. Meredith Heaney feeds it over far side for Hunzinger. Olivia Hunzinger across the way. 3-0 as we get going in the second half. I don't know. The idea of the Royals winning is kind of nice considering they haven't done it in 30 years, and there's always that belief they're a small market team. You kind of get sick of the discussion that the Mets act like a small market team, yet they play in the same city as the Yankees.
They have the same potential,
They absolutely do. Off to the far side it goes. So it goes. So largely I'm ambivalent as much as I do love baseball. Anna Kaiser wearing number 2 for Fairfield Warde. Thank you very much.
Not on the roster there, but
on the roster.
But
All
on the
right.
field.
All right. So, number 2 on your roster now, and number 1, I'm sure, in the hearts of the Kaiser family. Minute and change gone by, second half 3-0. As it rolls through, poked away by the Rams, who will now go from right to left.
Now, girls soccer will be wrapping up tonight too, and so we'll have the seating all set for that tournament tonight. Of course, St. Joe's really playing well, so they're going to be the number 1 seed and the heavy favorite to win it all.
Eric Gendron finishing up, signing autographs. Nobody signs more autographs here in New Canaan than you.
I don't know about that.
As we play on at 3-0, Rams, the Mustangs rather trying to get something going, but it squirts aside.
We do have one boys soccer game today too.
That's right.
It's actually a big one in terms of the standings for seedings. All 8 teams, of course, are in. New Canaan is playing over at Greenwich. Greenwich currently is in 7th place, but could move ahead of Staples for the 6th seed with a win. If they tie or lose, they're going to be the number 7 seed. And we're doing the game on Thursday on the HA Network, and that'll be at Darien. So it's either going to be Staples or Greenwich as their opponent.
Now, with that broadcast in Darien is not 100%, so I should stress that. We're just trying to work out a few logistics, but we will have a broadcast Thursday. And we will determine where. I would think we'll be locking it in tomorrow. We'd all like to know which school we're driving to.
Tough at this time of the year with a lot of these sports to put together a long-term schedule. You really don't know what's going to happen.
And to me, it's very tough no matter what. Even, I'm sitting here in November, and, of course, with the assistance of all of the great sports editors at the HAN Network, trying to figure out which games we will cover. And, we can talk about what looks good to us in December, as I'm putting together in October, what December games will look good. I don't know what's going to be good in February. Things can change so easily.
Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you the number of times I said, okay, this is what I'm planning out because I think these are the way the games are going to go.
Yep.
And then one thing happens and everything changes. And, a win you didn't expect or a loss you didn't expect. And you're knocked kind of for a loop.
3 and change gone by, almost 4 gone in the second half, 3-0.
I mean, last year's FCIAC field hockey tournament was a perfect example. While I thought New Canaan would get by the first round, you're talking about having to play Wilton and Darien, and that's a tough call to get by one of those teams, let alone two. But they did it, and they shut them both out, and which is a phenomenal performance.
Yeah. Sent back the other way. Heaney for the Rams. Gets it to Barron. Far side it goes. Trickling down through traffic. Spinning it away off to the left side of the net, and it'll turn. Day has turned much chillier, and I can't blame it on the sun. The sun's been gone for really quite a while. It was somewhat comfortable when we first got here, in fact, for a while, and because of our HAN Network polos, I shed my jacket, and I forgot to wear a longer sleeve underneath today, so I was walking around, short-sleeved for a while. Not so bad, but as we got closer to game time, temperature clearly dropped.
Braving the elements.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly plan on a Purple Heart for me, but, it was nice there for a little while.
This time of the year, it's tough because you do get a lot of night games. New Canaan's got one at 7 o'clock tonight. The girls' soccer team is wrapping up against Greenwich, wrapping up the regular season. Both teams going to the playoffs. Greenwich to the FCIACs in the States. New Canaan's still alive for the FCIAC tournament, but it's going to be tough. They would have to win tonight and have a couple of other things go their way, but they could be a strong. New Canaan girls soccer could be a very strong team in the States. They had a lot of injuries middle of the season, hence a record that's not what you would expect from a team as good as they are, but they've gotten a lot of those kids back now.
Ball loose, comes over near side, and a whistle is going to stop things. 6 and change gone by in the second half, 3-0.
Canaan putting defenseman Claire Connolly up there in the circle.
Bouncing it through. It's loose and it goes in. It's 4-0.
Connolly took that shot. I think Ferreira got a stick on it to redirect it.
I thought so too, and Ferreira looked like she was the one most likely to be celebrated with. So for the moment, we'll mark her down. And it's a 4-0 game. Just about at the 6.5-minute mark. Works it in. Through traffic it goes.
In that sense, field hockey is exactly like ice hockey in terms of redirections, tips, things like that. Those are the toughest thing for goalies to defend and really stand no chance on a moment like that. If you don't attack the ball to get it away from people before something can happen, that's going to happen.
Heaney will take the ball back a couple of yards. Now she'll start to work it through. Sends it across.
And just got a confirmation. That was from Bill Brown. That was Ferreira from Conley.
4-0 game now. Played by Sarah Adams of the Mustangs. They need something, and they need it fast. You can score quickly in field hockey. Of course, defense, opponent, there are a lot of things that go into it, but you can get chances to score, but you got to get one. You got to start somewhere.
And at this point for New Canaan is they don't need to take any chances, and Ward's going to have to push it a little bit.
So Ferreira from Hunzinger, and it came at 6:27 of the second half. I'm looking forward to the winter schedule, hockey and basketball, of course. Of course, when you're a hockey broadcaster, you wind up packing a lot of warm clothing, depending on where you go.
You got to have a rolling wardrobe in the car.
Almost. Darien can be a comfortable place to go cover a game. Of course, that's the home of New Canaan and Darien. But that being said, sight lines are tough, and it's a different setup there, where if you go to the wonderland of ice, I shiver at the thought.
Very cold, and the Winter Garden up in Ridgefield, very cold, too.
Winter Garden can be cold, yes. We'll get another penalty corner here. Yeah, the Winter Garden can be tough for sure, but I don't think there's anything worse than the Wonderland. In fact, I've told some of my colleagues this. My son has been to a game at Wonderland. He swears he won't go back. And I mentioned it to him the other day again, and he growled at me. Rolling it in, it's the Rams on the attack, bouncing through traffic, ball loose, setting it up again, another try, and it'll roll away. Kendall Gensberg was there looking for her second of the game.
Again, they've put Conley, defenseman, up on offense for these penalty corners, and they've done that at times through the year. She has such a wicked shot that she can cause a lot of havoc in the circle.
4-0 game coming up on the 10-minute mark. Rolling down to the far side.
Should a Yankee fan be using the term wicked?
I use the term wicked. I like New England. I like Boston. I like the city. Had wonderful trips to Boston. Oh, Boston's a great city. And Fenway Park is a great place.
It's just their team.
I tell you, and this is the God's honest truth, and I'm just going to have to, I apologize to Met fans. I like talking baseball with Red Sox fans. I do. I feel like they understand the history. They understand the game. Yes, there was a little bit of a woe is me factor for many years, but just Boston fans are good sports fans. Now, granted,
it's a great sports city. Yeah.
It is a great sports city. Now, granted, they didn't know about this thing called the NFL until about 15 years ago. Then they discovered a team called the Patriots. But no, I'm a big fan of Boston in general. I was talking to somebody, a big Yankee fan the other day, very stubborn Yankee fan, said she will not even go to the city of Boston because of the Red Sox, which I think that's a foolish, personally.
That's taking it a little far.
Yeah, and that's not the only person I've ever heard say that. But not something I can understand. I mean, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll still go to Dallas.
Or how about the state of Texas,
Better off not to comment. 18:25 remaining second half, 4-0.
Well, again, it's New Canaan. Ward really needed to come out strong to start the second half, but instead it's New Canaan actually putting a lot of pressure on again.
Barron for the Rams, and the whistle for a penalty corner coming up.
I believe this is their third of the half.
I believe so. Lauren Sturm brings it in. Claire Conley, and they score again, 5-0.
She's just got a rocket with a shot like that.
And it was Claire Conley on the goal, the senior. It comes at 12:09 of the second half. 5-0.
Yeah, that was just a hard shot. And that's three straight penalty corners. They've gone to her at the top, and she's taken a shot. She's taken the shot each time, one time wide, but the other two resulted in goals. One on the redirection by Ferreira, of course.
Of course, it's a lot to think about setting up a broadcast schedule for the winter. For Darien, for instance, as I was alluding to before, the Darien Ice Rink does not have very few of the hockey arenas that we get to go into have what I would call a media-friendly setup. Terry Connor's rink is probably the most media-friendly of them all, and I'm not talking about the Webster Bank Arena or any of those. I'm talking about the high school and, the smaller barns, if you will. So Terry Connors is friendly as it goes down with Ferreira, looking for more, left behind Heaney.
Darien's not a lot of room for a big crowd.
No.
Which is why when New Canaan plays Darien over there, the place is packed to the rafters.
Yeah, you're often 5-6 people deep back toward the pizza place.
And ringing the glass all the way around.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
To where they allow people.
Rolled in and sent wide.
Those are crazy games.
They are, and we'll have them again. But it is a lot to think about in terms of where you're setting up your camera shots, and I'm sure we'll be up in the quote-unquote dance studio again, which, even that turns into, and there are signs, but it's broadcast booth, media only, but, some members of coaches' families go up there and set up chairs, and it gets pretty crowded up there, especially for the bigger games. So all that will be resolved fairly soon. Here we have 15:40 remaining in the second half, and New Canaan very much in control. It's 5-0. This will bounce over to the near side.
New Canaan's really just kind of hitting a stride in this game, just which is a great launching pad into the playoffs. They beat Milford, which is a steady program, a consistent program over the years, 1-0 on Saturday. They have a win over Wilton just recently, and a lot of that happened after they lost to Greenwich when they felt like they didn't really play their game. They didn't play well. They kind of came out flat, as what according to Aaron Gilday, the head coach, and since then they've been playing fine. Sometimes you need a downer as a wake up call.
5-0 as Sabrina Santoni works it along for New Canaan.
We're looking at 11-0 in shots right now and 10-2 in corners.
Oof. That's a long day. As Sarah Adams, the junior midfielder, resets for Fairfield Warde. They're trying to move from left to right, but New Canaan keeping the pressure on. Rolls back out. $14 and change remaining, second half.
And even though it's looking like at this point that Warde is not going to make the FCIAC tournament, they do have the states to look forward to. And, if you play in the FCIAC as a field hockey team, no matter what, really no matter what your record is, you're playing tough teams all year. And you do have you stand a chance to do something good in the playoffs. It's the FCIAC matchups you want to watch out for, because those are the tough ones.
Adams rolls it along. Had it taken away from her by Barron. Worked along, but the Mustangs keep the pressure on. Two players coming together. That was Kristen Weisenseal, wearing 22 for the Rams.
And New Canaan getting everybody in today.
Just about 13 minutes left. Plus, you're going to try to play your seniors as best as you can. And you have a luxury when you've got a 5-0 game. You can certainly think about working all your seniors in. Coaches they handle senior day different ways. I've seen, in basketball, for instance, the starting five might be all seniors. You do your best to do what you can to get the seniors that moment.
You see that especially in basketball.
Yeah.
They will put all the seniors out on the floor. And, I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, if kids are seniors, and especially if they've been in the program for 3 or 4 years, they put in a lot of time and work. And even if they're not starters or they don't really see the light of day during some credit for, providing the team with their time.
12 and a half to go, 5-0 Rams. We were here very early today, so we rolled in the HAN Cruiser. Marty Hersom, myself, Kate Chaplinsky was on board. Got it all settled in here, and it just, things being as quiet as they were here, it gave us a chance to kind of marvel at the big video board that they have at the far end from where we are.
It's really quite a sight here.
It hums, too. It has like almost like, I don't know if it's something to keep the video screen cool or I don't know, but there's like a fan that almost sounds like it's running.
Well, it's really something, too. During the games, when big games, football games, they'll have video running up on the screen, and it really makes for quite a sight.
Now, 3 schools in the FCIAC have gone to that, with Staples being the latest. Of course, anything New Canaan can do, Darien wants to do it as well, so Darien put up a video board right around the same time.
So Coach Trefone was watching some video tribute after getting his 200th win.
Yeah, congratulations to Rob Trefone, as they got a big win over Danbury last week. And you just sense it. You sense we're heading that way. Thanksgiving morning.
2 teams that could have something to say about that, of course, is Staples, which will play Darien, and Trumbull, which has New Canaan. And I think, I looked at their schedules, and I think those are the 2 games. Other than that, it's those teams are going to go in as heavy favorites. They'll go in as favorites in those games, but there'll be challenges.
5-0 here, 10.5 to go. Spun back the other way. Rams will take it. Down the far side goes Meredith Heaney. Ball was loose, grabbed again. It was Kelsey Krolikowski for the Rams. But it'll be a Mustang ball. Turned right back over to Bridget McKim. Got away again. One day I'm going to find a way to have a cup of coffee with a field hockey official and say, all right, explain all these whistles to me. Let's make sense of it.
That'll be a nice conversation. Well, with this win that New Canaan looks like they're, in the home stretch here, it almost sets up the complete seeding for the FCIACs. The exception being Norwalk right now would actually fall to 4th place, but they have a game against West Hill, which is 2-11, and they have that game tomorrow. Norwalk would retake the number 3 seed with that win. So if that happens the way you figure it will, you'd have Darien at 1, Wilton at 2, Norwalk 3, New Canaan at 4, Greenwich at 5, with Staples taking number 6. Ridgefield has Wilton in its final game tomorrow, but either with a win or a loss, they can't move up or down to where they are. They're 3 points ahead of the team behind them and 3 points behind the team in front of them. So, and then you've got Trumbull, which plays Darien, but with Warde losing today, Trumbull can't fall out, so they will be the 8th seed. So interestingly enough, Ridgefield and Wilton would play the last game of the regular season and the quarterfinals. Darien would play Trumbull, same way, same way. Last game of the regular season, and I don't know how great that's going to be to go against Darien in back-to-back games.
Off to the far side as we stay here, Jenny Pahota for Fairfield Warde, junior midfielder. 8:10 to go, second half. 5-0 New Canaan. Heaney, Gensberg, Heaney, Ferreira, and Connolly, the goal scorers. Again, if you're new to field hockey, and I know there are some, as you watched Connolly let that ball roll by her, and that's Emily Connolly, the senior goalkeeper, she let the ball roll by off a blast from some 30 yards out. That's a designed play because you have to be in the shooting circle to actually score a goal. So, no, she did not allow a goal. It was designed to turn it back and give her teammates the ball. 7.5 to go. In the second half, Heaney now taken away by the Mustangs. That was Daisy Furliger. And now she's got it. Works it along on those very near sideline hash marks. Of course, the field hockey field a little wider than that. Crazy Man shooting pictures is not a crazy man. That is Josh Fisher. Shooting pictures with Dave Stewart's camera.
And I hope he doesn't treat it the way he treats selfie sticks.
Did he break Kate Chaplinsky's selfie stick?
Yes, he did.
I wondered what happened to that. I was not aware of a broken selfie stick.
And apparently a guy who you would never think would want to be associated with a selfie stick.
No, he doesn't.
Actually had to go and buy Kate a new one.
Pinella down the near side. 6:20 to go. 5-0 New Canaan. No, I actually think Josh's stomach churns at the mere thought of a selfie stick. Under 6 to play, second half. Rolled through to Heaney. Heaney's played very well today. Loose down there, scooting aside. On the doorstep was Gensberg.
The ball was kicked, but that kind of slowed it down. And let's see whose number that was. That was Gensberg, who spun, but the shot went wide.
So they'll set it down. Of course, we are back with you tomorrow for coffee break. Fortunately, the rainy day, we do not have any games on the calendar, so one less thing to worry about.
This was probably the last day we'll see the full fall foliage around. With the heavy rains and wind tomorrow, a lot of the trees will be kind of stripped.
That does serve as a good reminder, of course, that the rain combined with the leaves, it'll be for some messy roads, and those leaves can be slippery to drive on. So certainly beware of that. And of course, we're not on the verge of a drought, but certainly there was a story that ran in, I guess, a few of our papers. I know Darien being one of them, that there is some conservation needed right now on water, and this rain will certainly help a bit. 4:10 to go, second half.
Of course, there's 5 field hockey teams which will be in action tomorrow, so that's going to be tough because they're going to want to get those games done with the playoffs starting on Friday and Saturday. The 3 teams that are done are Greenwich and Staples were done yesterday, and New Canaan ending their season today. So that could cause some trouble if a game has to get postponed to Thursday, and say it involves Wilton or Darien Trumbull. They end up playing 2 days in a row.
3:35 remaining. Fairfield Warde trying to get something going. Kicked aside by Emily Conley. They'll reset again, work it forward from Pahota. Loose off to the side, couple of kick saves made by Conley. Kicking at it again. A lot of traffic out in front, and now a whistle. 3:09 to play.
Warde gets its most extended opportunity there.
So penalty corner here with 2:55 remaining. Rolled in for the Mustangs. Looking, turned away. Good job by Santoni defensively. But they'll reset again, will the Mustangs. Pahota working it along. Staying inside the numbers. Santoni very much playing very aggressively. In that case, it was Gensberg. .220 to go in the second half. Grabbed by the Mustangs and Furliger. 2:05 remaining. Now under 2. This one not really in doubt. 10-3-1, the Rams will improve to, and 6-8 will be the Mustangs. And it's coming in just about 90 seconds. There's Santoni. She grabs it. Just rolls it through traffic. There was something cooking there for Pinella. Off to the side, grab back. A lot of the cheering at this point, especially for those who don't necessarily get the opportunities.
Yeah, and that's kind of a cool moment if you're on a team where you're not only going to get the win there, but you get to see some people that could be the future of the program getting in there.
And often, again, that's a basketball thing. In a big blowout, you like to see those bench players getting their chance to get a few points. Ball's loose as it goes over to the side. Under 1 minute to go.
Nice to get your name in the box score, so to speak.
Exactly. Ball loose again. New Canaan through traffic. Oh, it was there for Pinella. Just went wide. Pinella got the stick on it. Just couldn't quite aim it into the net.
Yeah, Gensberg also really closing on it on the just near the right post too, but just couldn't quite get to it before the ball went out of bounds.
A half-minute remaining in the second half. I want to thank everybody. Jay Egan, of course, the athletic director here at New Canaan. Both teams, Bill Brown, of course. All the support folks here at New Canaan High School will always make us feel so welcome. We'll be back here next week. Be here a couple of times next week, in fact. Down to 9 to go. In fact, if you want to park the RV here, maybe I'll stay for a few days. Down to 2-1, and this one is over. And an excited New Canaan Rams team comes off their bench to celebrate with Emily Conley and their teammates. They have picked up win number 10 on the year, and the New Canaan Rams have a 5-0 victory, a game that 3:40 in was never in doubt.
Yeah, this game was over early. You know, New Canaan did put a couple more on the board in the second half, but really that game ended with that three-goal outburst early in the game. And, I think with 2 goals, it would have been Ward could have gotten back into it, but with that third goal really put the nail in the coffin.
And that third goal came just 9 minutes into the game. It was Meredith Heaney at 3:40, followed by Kendall Gensberg at 4:43. Heaney again at 9:01. Then in the second half, Mariana Ferreira at 6:27 of the second half, and Claire Conley put in the final nail in the coffin at 12:09.
Conley really, you could see that shot that she's got and why they like to move her up on penalty corners. She's a great defender, but she's got a wicked shot there. Again, there's that word. And,
there is that word.
And 3 times in the penalty corners, 3 shots. 1 went wide, 2 result in goals. 1 for Ferreira, 1 for Conley herself. So, big day.
Big day for the New Canaan Rams as we start wrapping things up, but first we'll take a break, come back, get some final thoughts, and put a ribbon on it. Final score from Dunning Field in New Canaan. The New Canaan Rams 5 and the Fairfield Warde Mustangs 0. We're back to tell you about it and say goodnight right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Remind you of the last time you went into a car dealership? Experience stress-free waters at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and find out how easy buying a car really is.
Welcome back to Dunning Field in New Canaan. I'm Rob Adams. Dave Stewart had to step out. We appreciate his time as he had to go write the story, of course, for the New Canaan Advertiser. This one in the books, the final score 5-0 in favor of the New Canaan Rams over the Fairfield Warde Mustangs. Dave and I were going through some of the machinations and what exactly will the playoffs be like. It's looking this way. Darien and Wilton are set as the top two seeds with Ridgefield 7 and Trumbull 8. What that means is the Friday games will be Trumbull at Darien and Ridgefield at Wilton. The rest of it, not much is up in the air. Norwalk will be the 3 seed so long as they win over West Hill, which seems possible, seems likely, but that's why they play the games. The 4 seed would be New Canaan. They are supposed to play Saturday at 10 in a 4-5 game now against the Greenwich Cardinals, and Staples is the 6 seed. That's the way it all looks right now, pending anything strange, but we'll keep you posted if we hear anything else. Coffee Break is exactly how you'll learn about all of that, as well as Nutmeg Sports tomorrow at 2 o'clock with Donald Eng and yours truly. Of course, Don will take tomorrow off, but I'll be along to kind of keep you up to date. And then we move to Thursday for soccer. We will let you know for sure, hopefully tomorrow, exactly where we will be for that soccer match, but we will have a boys quarterfinal match on Thursday. Then Friday, we're to the Great Boyle Stadium in Stamford as the Stamford Black Knights host the St. Joseph Cadets. Chris Irway and I back on the call 6:30 on Friday night at Stamford High School. We will start all of our coverage with FCIAC tailgate at 3:30, FCIAC game day at 4:30. Our thanks to everybody here, the whole crew today. Marty Hersom, Ellie Hersom, Josh Fisher, Kate Chaplinsky, Dave Stewart, Eric Gendron, AJ Simonowski, a cast of thousands for keeping us on the air. With all that said, that'll do it from New Canaan High School. The final score, the New Canaan Rams 5 and the Fairfield Warde Mustangs 0. Join us for Coffee Break starting your day tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Kate Chaplinsky with all the news headlines, Donald Eng with history. I have weather and sports. Looking forward to it. And again, back with you for soccer on Thursday, football on Friday. For our entire crew at Dunning Field in New Canaan, I'm Rob Adams. Enjoy your evening. New Canaan gets the win to improve to 10-3-1 on the year, while Fairfield Warde drops to 6-8. The final score, New Canaan 5, Fairfield Warde 0. From Dunning Field in New Canaan, good night, everyone.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.